Hello, everyone. Earthangel here. Okay, I have a lot to talk about, so let's just get into this, shall we? But first, I would like for you to like, subscribe, and share my video. I think that I have been on YouTube for 5 years now. I think it's time to up the ante, you guys. I've been sharing a lot of information and I have been receiving views. Thank God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's just start upping the ante. Let's start sharing it more and liking the content that I share. Okay, so first and foremost, let's get started on this medical missing documents. I went for my yearly physical. And the doctor, I sat down and he asked me questions and he said, it shows here that you had, I had a stroke in 2008. And so he said, it shows here that you had one, but what hospital did you go to? And, let's look it up, okay? So I can get more information. So he's on his computer and he looks it up, and I know um, from past times being at the hospital or being at my appointment, they can just, you tell them the name of the hospital and they can look at your records going all the way back, all right? So he's on the computer, he's looking at my records, and he goes, it only shows till 2012. And I'm like, huh? And then it just stops. It's just blank, right? There's no other information. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, I know that's not correct. I don't know what happened. You know, how can it be missing? So I didn't say anything more. And he's asking me, well, did you have this? And 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 I'm like, yes, I did. Can't remember the year that I had it, but yes, I did. Because he's asking things, as we get younger. And for physical, they want to know, have you had this shot or have you had uh, um, this procedure or this done, just want to make sure that they're on their P's and Q's as far as, um, covering information. So I'm like, okay. So on YouTube, I just want to tell you, I know a lot of you know about this already, but there are some that may not. There has been talk about people who work in the healthcare facility, in hospitals or whatever. It could be a doctor, nurses, staff. It's a team that's working together. And they may um, delete some of your information or change some of the dates, like your date of birth or whatever. Or whatever, they might say, hey, this person was not in the hospital during this time frame. So I have heard, oh, okay, well, people are saying or lying on you and they're going to court. You don't know anything about it. And they might be saying, this person's on drugs, or we haven't seen them in a long time. We don't know where they are. And they just saw you yesterday, right? Or a week ago. Or, they say they're in this crazy house now and they were, some of the paperwork might say you were admitted this date to this date, and that's absolutely not true. So he went ahead and got everything together, paperwork and everything that had to be done for my physical. And so I said, I'm going to do one thing better. Because he's looking like, well, you said you had this, and, there's paperwork on here, but I don't see anything from the hospital. So I came home and I looked through my files of my medical paperwork. There's a reason that God has you do things that you do, making copies, contacting the hospital, making copies of your records. There's a reason for that. Everyone should be aware of that and should keep their information of procedures or whatever happens. So I came home, I found the paperwork, and everything that he asked me for, I was able to go back to like 2005 or 2002, something like that. And so I grabbed all the information, I highlighted it, and I went up the street and I made a copy of it. And I actually drove back to the doctor's office. I had an envelope, I had a letter telling him of, you know what, I am a person who has dealt with identity theft, people stealing my information. I have documents and stuff that's missing. So I just wanted him to know the gist, all the information of what has been going on with me. So I put it all in this envelope, and I highlighted all the information that he asked me for so that he can just see clearly, in the paperwork. Oh, okay, sure. She said this, she said this, she said that. Okay, yep. We're on top of our game. Everything's cool. Everything's good, right? So, and I gave it back to him. And I guess a couple of days later, he called me and said, I got the envelope with all your information in it. I'm so happy because, it vindicates you. It shows that, you're not lying. You do have this information. When I had the stroke, the ambulance was called. So, the fire department shows up first. And the reason why I'm saying this is so interesting because the fire department that came out to get me is the fire department that I was working with. I am so grateful for them. You know what? The men and women that work at this fire department are absolutely awesome. They are like, a lot of them are just number one, and I am so humbled to have been able to work with them because they're really, really, really good people, great characters. So anyway, I say all of that to say I got that information into the doctor. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm vindicated for that bit of information. So I just wanted to, come on and share that with you. As I understand that, the doctors and the nurses and the staff, the people are being looked into, investigated. And, there are even some who have been, they've been taken to court. They're being put in prison. Their, physician or nurse or whatever has been taken away from them, their licenses. So it doesn't pay to lie, forge documents, and to do these things to other people. It doesn't pay. You're trying to get, money for this information. You're trying to lie to the court saying, oh, well, she this and she that. She is crazy, it doesn't pay. This crime does not pay. Anyway, so I have been vindicated. I'm so grateful. I'm thankful. I even had another appointment where my doctor said, you know what? He had to tell me again, thank you for the paperwork. You know, this is big. This is really big. So, anyway, just wanted to share that with all of you. I love you guys all. Take care. Peace.